Hi guys, happy Thursday, happy June 23rd. Crazy, right? June's almost over. So a couple of housekeeping items. Remember that the 21 Day Fix and the 21 Day Fix Extreme are on sale. $140. And then the Fix and the 21 Day Fix Extreme Kickstart, which means that it includes the 3-day refresh, are $180. So make sure that you're doing crazy follow-ups, because what you want to do is go back to those folks that you've been talking to, especially those folks that you've been talking about the 21 Day Fix in the past, so that you can, make them aware that the 21 Day Fix on.
Mommy.
Let me eat you.
Hello.
I don't know how to do this from here. I'll do it later. Yes. Okay. So as I was saying, be sure to follow up with those folks. One tip that I give you is to go back to your mobile app, and those individuals that you sent the invitation, the link to, who never completed it, this is a good time to go through that list and follow up with those folks and remind them that, or tell them if you haven't already, that the there we go. So that's one thing. Also, Summit is around the corner. Countdown is starting, so we're super excited that we're going to be hanging out together, we're going to be learning together, partying together. And I feel like I muted everyone, but is it me, or I still hear some noise in the background? Maybe it's just me. All right. So if you guys don't have a place to stay, I suggest that you go into your team pages or Luminous Nation and, put a post up there. I'm pretty sure that there is still room somewhere out there. But we're super excited that we're going to be going to Summit to celebrate all of our successes. So, and then before we introduce our guest speaker, I want to give a huge shout out to a couple of people. So congratulations to Michelle Avila and to Jamie for pushing, and literally finally getting to Diamond like 11:30 last night. I'm so proud of you guys. You guys came in with fire, and there was nothing stopping you. So congratulations to you and your team, and also to Team Advent for being qualified for 6 stars Diamond. And that is just amazing, to all of the diamonds and all of our emeralds and all of our coaches, because this is a team effort. We don't get there just with one person. And obviously our guest speaker, who ranked advanced her second business center today to the rank of 5-star, second business center to 5-star diamond coach. I mean, that's amazing. So congrats, Audrey, to you and the ladies on that business center, and just to all of Luminous Nation. We rock, right? So before we get started on our call, let me introduce Audrey. I feel like I know all of her accolades by heart, but I don't want to leave anything out. So I have my notes in front of me. But Audrey has been a coach for about 3.5 years. She is a two-time elite coach. She is a 6-star diamond in her first business center, 5-star diamond in her second business center. Audrey is part of the New York City Market Council. She is also a Success Club All-Star Legend for 43 months. And I'm pretty sure it's 44 months with this, including this month already. So that means that Audrey, is serious about her business. Success Club is a non-negotiable since she started this business, and she's just amazing. And then most importantly, she is a woman of God. She is a wife, and she is a mother of 2 beautiful boys. And Audrey also runs her parents' business, her father's, her family's business. So she's busy. And to top it off, she's an introvert and she does all of that. So tonight, I'm excited that she has joined our call and that we have joined forces and invited everyone on the call tonight. And she will be speaking about putting your talent to work. So Audrey, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Gabby. And again, I want to congratulate you and all of Team Advent, Michelle, Jamie. It's amazing. Like Gabby said, it really is a team effort. Each and every one of you had a hand there. And it's what's incredible about it is that you have this incredible team to welcome people into. So when you talk about the business opportunity, you guys can talk about this powerhouse team that you belong to. And it's an engine for growth. And you guys are so blessed with a leader like Gabby, who pours in so much of herself every single day into you guys. It's a true blessing. So tonight, I hope you guys don't mind. It's Thursday, but I want to take you to church. What I wanted to speak about tonight, I've been praying about for a long time, and I've been thinking about for a long time. Because, a lot of people ask me, like Gabby said, you hear all those accolades, and then we want to think that there's a secret. We want to see what is it that certain people are doing that other people aren't doing. And I credit a lot of it to consistency. But in this book, I'll show you the book that I'm reading right now. It's John C. Maxwell's Developing the Leaders Around You. John C. Maxwell says that leaders have a track record for success. They have a track record for being able to accomplish things in their life. And I was thinking back to how I was in school. I was valedictorian of my high school class. I was on the dean's list. And what drove me back then, before, being in a business in which we had to perform Success Club and help people rank advance, what drove me back then? And it had to have been bigger than me, a responsibility I feel towards God. And there's a quote that says that your talent is God's gift to you, but what you do with it is your gift back to God. And you guys are such a successful team. I mean, you're an elite team. You're going to be elite again this year. And I know you guys know these things, but I know that sometimes we get lost in the world of Success Club and ranks and these motions that we go through, especially this time of year when we face so much rejection from people. And we think to ourselves, like, it might not be worth it. Let me take a break. I got so much going on. But I want to take the position on this call with you guys that your work as a coach is a responsibility given to you by God. It's not just a coincidence that you came into this team whose team name is Advent. It's not a coincidence at all. You received the gift to have the ability to help other people. Someone, can you mute your line, whoever just got on?
Got it, I'll look for it.
Okay. You have a responsibility, a God-given responsibility to help other people. And I want to read to you guys from Matthew 25, the parable of the talents. Imagine someone who, before going abroad, summoned his servants to entrust his property to them. He gave 5 talents of gold to one, then 2 to another, and 1 to a third, each one according to his ability, and he went away. He who received 5 talents went at once to do business with the money and gained another 5. The one who received 2 did the same and gained another 2. But the one with 1 talent dug a hole and hid his master's money. After a long time, the master of those servants returned and asked for a reckoning. The one who received 5 talents came with another 5 talents, saying, Lord, you entrusted me with 5 talents, but see, I have gained 5 more with them. The master answered, Very well, good and faithful servant. Since you have been faithful in a few things, I will entrust you with much more. Come and share the joy of your master. Then the one who had 2 talents came and said, Lord, You entrusted me with 2 talents. I have 2 more which I gained with them. The master said, well, good and faithful servant. Since you have been faithful in little things, I entrust you with much more. Come and share the joy of your master. Finally, the one who had received the talent came and said, Master, I know you are an exacting man. You reap what you have not sown and gather what you have not invested. I was afraid, so I hid your money in the ground. Here, take what is yours. But his master replied, Wicked and worthless servant. You know that I reap where I have not sown and gather where I have not invested. Then you should have deposited my money in the bank, and you would have given it back to me with interest on return. Therefore, take the talent from him and give it to the one who has 10. For to him who is productive, more will be given, and he will have abundance. But he who is unproductive, even what he has will be taken from him. As for that useless servant, throw him out into the dark where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. I don't know about you guys, but that to me is super powerful, because it's easy these months to think about how hard this business is and how we're inviting people and they're rejecting us. But you can't think of it that way, because you have the mindset of that person that has 1 talent. And you got into this business because you want to help people, because you want to grow. Therefore, you have to expand your mindset. And even if you have a little bit, and you feel like, I'm not as good as that person. I can't make pretty pictures like that person. I don't have abs like that person. But if you take that little bit that you do have, that desire in your heart to want to do better and work with it, what does God do? God expands that desire if you work on producing more. Look at the people that have more. Why do you think that first person had 5? That first person had 5 because of their work ethic. They knew they had the obligation to their master. They knew it was their duty and their responsibility. And instead of letting it fear, do you think that they weren't scared? Do you think that they didn't face rejection either? Instead, they got to work, and because of that, they were able to produce 5 more. And even to the person that had 2, he was able to go to work and produce 2 more. And at the end of the day, whether he had 5 or this person had 2, because they got to work, they still shared in the same reward. They both still grew. In this business, we are always wanting to compare ourselves to other people. But if you do that, you're going back to that person with 1, because he was looking at the person that had 2, he was looking at the person that had 5, and was acting selfishly, trying to protect what he had, and in return, he didn't do anything. But these 2, instead of looking to what the other person was doing, instead of feeding into their own fear, they took their responsibility and they got to work. And that's why they were able to grow. Now to this person that didn't do anything with this gift, it says that they were thrown into the darkness where they were weeping and gnashing of teeth. And that's something that I never wanted. When I was growing up and I was valedictorian of my high school class, I never had that goal. I just knew that I had to be the best that I could with what I had. And I grew up in the I did high school in the Dominican Republic. And if you guys know anything about that culture, everybody just wants to party all the time. And I remember being in school with assignments and projects, and my classmates would call me, Audrey, let's go out this weekend. Audrey, let's go out this weekend. And I never did any of that because we had projects to work on. And I got to work on those projects, whereas a lot of my classmates failed because there were projects that they didn't even hand in because because of their priorities. They were wrong. You know, this business has so many seasons. Right now, I know everybody's busy with graduations. Life gets thrown at us. The holidays, there's really not going to be any time of year in which everything slows down so that you can grow your Beachbody business. But if you always set your level of production, your level of responsibility high, not because you just have to hit Success Club, but because as human beings, you have to set a bar for yourself, not for anyone else, but for yourself, so that you can see what you're capable of for yourself and for your God. And always operate at that level, no matter what goes on, because God knows your circumstances. God knows what you're capable of. He gave you those gifts. So I want you guys to ask yourselves, can I do more? Is there anyone on this team right now that's struggling with Success Club, struggling with your coaches? At the end of the day, when you put your head down and you bring it to God, can you honestly say, I gave it all? Can you? Because if you did, that's amazing. Get up tomorrow and do the same thing. But I think that most of us, if we're honest with ourselves, can say to ourselves, you know what? I could have invited a little more today. You know what? I could have had a little bit more courage and invited that person that I'm scared to invite. I could have not have watched as much TV as I did today and have put in more work into my business. Or I could have spent an extra 15 more minutes doing personal development because I need to work on my mindset right now. There is always more that we can give. And that for me is the reason why I've been able to be a 2-time elite coach, because I've never seen this as, okay, I got to hit that quota, I'm going to hit that quota. I've seen this because I want to be able to give the best that I can give for myself. Because Gabby doesn't want you guys to hit Success Club for her. Gabby doesn't want you to reach a new rank in your business because of her. Gabby, I know for a fact, because it's what every leader wants for their team, wants you to grow for yourself so that you can see the kind of person that you can become. So that you don't stay the same as you are now. It's all about growth. So if you look at these talents, you know, it talks about it as gold in the Bible, but it's your gifts as a human being. When I first met Gabby, we were like, Gabby's a superstar. We need to have her on a team call. But she was terrified. And I remember I called her one day and I'm like, Gabby, this is what we're going to do. You can turn off the light in your place and I'll be on the phone with you. I'm one phone with you and then you do the call. You know, so it's kind of like Gabby had one talent when she started out. But what did she do? She took that, she took it to God, and she got to work developing herself every single day. I know this woman goes to bed late. I know this woman is always looking for something to help her grow, you know, and we tend to think like, oh, but she's 6-star qualifying. She's 1-star in her second business center. She's elite. What does Gabby need to do? She's doing it all right. No, Gabby is where she is because she never stops growing herself. She never stops learning. And because of that, she's taken that one talent and she's multiplied it. And now she's working with 5 because like Jesus says in this gospel, to those that have, to those that produce, more will be given. But you guys have to be so careful because if you have talents right now that you're not using, that you know you're putting in the back burner, that you're not giving everything you know you can give, even that will be taken away from you. So don't even take it for granted. Don't take it for granted. I mean, do you have challengers on your team that you're not investing in? Coaches in your team maybe that you're not investing in? How about people in your life that you haven't invited? What would you do if you saw them join another team? Because you never took the time out to talk to them about this business opportunity. It happens all the time. There are so many parallels to the Bible and this business. And that's no coincidence to me. Wherever you are planted, God wants you to grow and prosper. But this, like in our faith, it's not the kind of thing that you just sit there and wait to receive everything, wait to receive the secrets and everything's just going to, you know, come up peachy keen. You have to work. It has to come from within you. Can't come from anybody else but you. If you know inside that you were created for something big and you have a talent to share with people, and you have purpose, and you have passion, I want you to see this as your obligation. Therefore, Success Club, like Gabby said, for me, Success Club 10 is a non-negotiable. Success Club 10 needs to be a non-negotiable for you. How many people can you help? How far can you take your business with the gifts that you were given? Because you never want them to be taken away. You know, sometimes we complain, why aren't I here? Why aren't I there? But take care of what you do have, because you never know what can change in your life. But if you want more, if you want to continue growing, then you have to put in the work. You have to keep going, no matter what. So I want you guys to really remember that quote that I opened up with. You know, your talent is God's gift to you. What you do with it is your gift to God. And with that, I finish the call.
That was amazing. Hang on, I'm gonna do the gallery view. I had you on like, I wanted to see you, but that was so amazing. That's the law of promotion. So,
Danny.
I know that law very, very well. So, does anyone have any questions for Audrey? Don't be shy. Look at Jake. Jake, you got a question?
I have a question.
Why everybody's so quiet? Oh, go
I have
ahead.
a question. Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Gladys.
How do you go about finding what your talent is? Where do you pinpoint it, and how do you accept it? Because I think that's sometimes usually the problem where you think you're good at one thing, but you're really much better at another. So how do you go about not only accepting it, but flourishing what you are good at?
Pay attention to what makes you happy. I think that certain times it took me a long time to understand that. And have you ever read the book The Alchemist?
No, I have not. Sorry. Okay. I have my daughter sleeping next to me. So.
That's a book you might want to pick up by Paulo Coelho. Everyone is born with a gift from God, a passion, something that He designed you for. And it's whatever lights you up. Pay attention to what sets you on fire, what gets your heart racing. And it might be 2 or 3 things. Explore them. Spend more time there. See what you can grow. I'll tell you one thing. John C. Maxwell tells us that our strengths, if we focus on our strengths, they grow even larger. So don't look at the things that you might consider weaknesses, that you think maybe that's the thing that I should improve because it seems like the better fit. But look at what you really do love and spend more time there and see how that develops. But The Alchemist, I really recommend that book to you because it's going to make more sense reading it as you start comparing it to your life. Have you guys all read The Alchemist?
Awesome. Thank you so much.
We have it.
Such a good book. Such a good book.
Anyone else?
Hey, Audrey. It's Cindy. How are you?
Hi, girl.
How are you? Thank you for talking on the team call.
Got it. My pleasure.
So, we all have our days, our off days more than on days. And when you're leading a team, like, how do you motivate yourself when you're in a rut or, you're putting in the effort, but you're not seeing the results and you have to 10x it, right? Like, so do you read? Do you listen to podcasts? Like, what is it that lights you on fire to keep going?
So a long time ago, I had something happen to me that just really depressed me. And I developed what I call my light switch mentality. Everything for me is about light. In which I thought of it like I have the control over what I allow in my mind, over the emotions that I allow to linger. So if I think of it as a light switch, I turn it off. And I turn on a thought that's going to give me life, something that makes me happy. And, you know, The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster, I'm going to recommend that book to you by Darren Hardy. It's great on audio, great listening. But he talks a lot about rejection and having those bad days. And he said that he used to let something put him in a funk for 2 weeks. And then he discovered that it's all in his mind. If he can control it, decide to turn off the bad and turn on the good. And then he practiced it so that he would let himself be upset for 2 days. And then it became 24 hours. And he says that now it's like he gives himself 20 minutes to wallow in it, because we're human, wallow in it. It's good to feel bad. It's like sometimes you got to give out a good cry. Wallow in it, but don't allow it to continue, because it really is a choice. How you feel really is a choice. So for me, it can be personal development, but sometimes you have to know when you need a break. Like you have to know when you need to like put away your phone, shut down the computer, and go spend time with your family. But get back to work, most importantly, because I see a lot of coaches that let a bad day turn into a bad week. And then all of a sudden they don't hit Success Club. Their business stops growing because they let one thing get in the way. And something that happens as leaders, as we grow, is that we start to realize that all of this is normal. Because these are all growth problems. Having people in our organization that have these needs and these conflicts, it's all signs of life. It means that you have a team to work on, and you have people in your life to take care of, and it's all part of the business. So as you go on, you'll learn to not let it bother you as much. You'll better learn how to handle that.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Hope that helped.
That was great. Anyone else?
Hi, Audrey.
Hi.
My question is, how do you lose the fear to invite, to like keep pushing your boundaries? Because I feel like that is my weakness. Trying to I'm afraid of rejection, so I don't like I guess I don't push a lot, more than what I should, and what I know that I can push more, but sometimes I just restrain myself from doing so.
There is a quote, I forgot who said it, but I think it's JFK, that the biggest component to fear is action. So if you're just sitting there afraid of inviting that person, and it's normal, fear's a good thing, it means you're alive. That means you're not taking action. You're not just going for it. So what's it going to cost you to send a message? Nothing. If they say no, then you invite them again another day. And if anything, you just made a new connection. My favorite word is courage. And my favorite definition of courage is fear that has said its prayers. So allow yourself to feel the fear, and then say your prayers, and then go for it. And it's like the passage said, be more afraid of having things taken away from you because you didn't do anything with it, than of just facing a no, because that other person is human just like you. Mm-hmm. And when you have something to offer, like we do with this opportunity, like we do with our challenge groups, it's a blessing. It's not like you're contacting them to give them bad news or anything like that. So choose to do something that's going to scare you every day, because the fear is going to diminish and diminish as you go on.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
If I may add too, someone, I think it was Carol today, she shared something she shared that someone that she reached out to today, Mommy. I know, my mom. Responded, I was waiting for you to invite me. Many times we're so scared because we're thinking to ourselves that that person, you know, is going to think something of us, is going to say no, is going to think we're crazy. How can I, you know, coach them if I'm not, I might go away, whatever we're thinking, because, you know, we're humans and we think all these crazy thoughts. And little do we know that that person just doesn't know how to come to us and ask for help. And it is our duty as coaches to invite everybody that we come in contact with, you know, to join a challenge group, to join our team, you know, to provide some type of value into their lives. And so that was a perfect example, you know, that showed that this individual was waiting until Carol asked her, and had someone else asked, maybe that she would have, you know, accepted their help as well. So, you know, Carol obviously stepped up and asked her. So that's just a good example as to why we should just ask, because people are definitely waiting, and sometimes they just don't know how to contact us because they're probably afraid, just like you are. So,
yeah.
Anyone else? I'm gonna ask until maybe someone else has a question. I have a question that maybe someone here is thinking about. So, you know, you're a 2-time elite coach. You've hit Success Club 43, 44 months in a row since you started this business. You know, run a very successful business for your family. You're a mother of 2. You're a wife. You know, you lead a big team. And so you're busy. Sounds like you're super, super busy. And I know you are. But obviously, you know, there has to be some sort of balance, right, in your life. There has to be some sort of balance for you to do all of these responsibilities in your life. So when times like this happen, where, you know, it's a tough month, how do you, like, what are your activities? What do you do? How do you, okay, ma'am, how do you make sure that you are hitting Success Club and not just the minimum? You're not just doing 5, but you're doing 10 plus. Like, what do you do? What kind of, you know what I mean, mindset do you put yourself on to push and push and push until it make, you know, you make it happen?
Here's the thing, and it's going to sound like a bad answer, but for me, I go back to the 4 vital behaviors, and I make sure that I'm louder about those 4 vital behaviors. And I feel like sometimes people want that answer, like, I have a secret sales funnel that I don't tell anybody about. No, I have this parable that I read to you guys is everything for me, because I live my life to that standard. I don't hit Success Club 10 because, oh, Gabby hit it, I got to make sure I hit it too. I hit it because I know I'm capable of it. So when I have a hard month, it's non-negotiable for me. And so that means that in my mind, I'm already operating like I'm going to get it. And what you think about is what you get. So if you're feeling weak at any month and you're feeding into that weakness, you're going to get more weakness. That means I have something that I call the Success Club swag. You know, when you hit Success Club, like by like the 5th of the month, and everyone you talk to, you're like, yeah, I know you're going to join my challenge group because I'm the bomb. I know Jake knows. But, you know, so everyone you speak to, all of a sudden you have this great confidence with, right? But then when you're operating and with that weakness and like nobody wants to join, am I going to do this? Everybody can feel that. The energy that you're putting out there is the energy you're going to get back, and nobody is going to want to join your challenge group. So in these summer months, when you're like on fire and you're 10xing your 4 vital behaviors, people are going to look at you like, I want what that person has. And if not the immediate people, the first 5 people you're inviting every day, then the next 5 and the next 5 after that. But you have to, there's really, really no secret. It's the 4 vital behaviors and believing in yourself so hard that it's going to happen. And belief is also a choice. So how, what I said to Cindy about what you allow into your mind, It really is true. What are you allowing into your mind? Kick out instantly any negative thought that tells you that you can't do this, because that's BS. I have my affirmations on my board that I tell myself every day, because of course I have my moments of weakness, but I don't allow them to stay in my mind. I keep going because success is my duty, my responsibility, obligation, whatever it is that Grant Cardone says. And I live by that. I'm not going to go below that bar that I set for myself. So until that mindset is non-negotiable in your minds, you're not going to take off, because it takes grit to build this business. You have to have that. You have to be tough. You have to develop a tough skin. Your mind is the most powerful thing that you have in this business. You have to protect it. You have to take care of what you allow in your mind, because that's where everything else is going to come from. Your actions come from what you tell yourself. The vibe you get from your team and everything comes from what you tell yourself.
Love it. Anyone else? We have Audrey on our call. So,
but they got you every week.
But I'm saying, then they're gonna be like, "Oh man, I should have had asked this question." So don't be afraid, because we have her right now. Saying,
I'll ask another question, right? Because I always have questions. How do you get to that mindset of going ahead and accepting it? Because for me, it's you, Gabby, are like up here and looking in the mirror and saying, you know what, I'm gonna kick ass and everybody can go and shove it if they don't like it. How do you work up to that? Like, what would be your first step for somebody that doesn't have that? I don't know where to begin, because for me, culturally, we don't do that. we how can I best explain it without sounding like I'm such a submissive? We don't step out of line for us. We don't say what we are. We're told what we are. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. I understand. I will tell you, it's kind of like with my fitness. When I was in a place that I wasn't happy, I had to allow myself to feel those feelings and decide that that's a place that I didn't want to be. So you see me now with this mindset, and I've lost coaches. I've lost diamond coaches. And I've seen other coaches fall off their business because of things like that. But the reason I'm able to stay strong is because I've been through a lot in this business, and I've allowed myself to feel that pain. But again, I check myself, like, is this who I want to be? Is this how I want to feel about myself? I have two choices right now. I can quit and allow myself to feel like I never achieved anything. I never reached my potential. I could have given more, but I decided not to because it just got too hard. Do I want to be that person? Or do I want to be the person that's going to lift myself up and try again? Because if other people did it, I can do it too. So it took a long time of me choosing to be that person that got up and tried again. And I've had people say things about me in the business, oh, she's not growing. She's not growing because of this. And like I said, people quit on me. People returning challenge packs. It happens to all of us. I don't want anyone to think that they're alone when they have bad days and things like that. But you have to choose who you want to be. Who you want to be. Don't let yourself be defined by anybody else, because at the end of the day, you're the one that looks at yourself in the mirror, and you have to be able to say if your life fits what you say about yourself, if you're happy with what you have. And if that's not true for you, you go out there and change it. And I wasn't happy. And I'm still not, I'm a lot more confident, but I know I can get stronger. So every day for me, it's a matter of getting up and working on myself, getting up and working on myself. And with time, you develop that discipline. And it's nothing that you're going to get tomorrow because you decided today that you're going to do it. But every day, keep deciding who you want to be and go after it.
In other words, a lot of PD.
A lot of PD and applying the PD.
Applying, yes.
Yeah, because a lot of people are PD hoarders.
Collectors.
Yeah.
Right. I see. I will handle anyone that talks about Beachbody Beyonce.
Oh, girl, if you knew.
Anyone else? We're going to let Audrey go? All right. Audrey, thank you so much for spending your Thursday evening with us.
My pleasure.
Your message was powerful. I am a huge, well, you know, because you've seen my board, picture of my board. I am a huge believer of the law of promotion and, you know, and obviously watering our gifts. And if we are faithful with the little that God has given us, He will definitely multiply it. So I love this call. I love, you know, everything that you had to say. So thank you for spending your valuable time with us, with Team Advent and the rest of Team of Luminous Nation.
Thank you so much, and congratulations, Jamie, Michelle, and Gabby.
Congratulations.
All of Team
Good
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Bye, guys. Have a great night.
Bye.
What did I say? Good night.